Hello! Today we are reading this beautiful book named Rapunzel. Okay, this book is from the Once Upon a World series, and this book is written by Chloe Perkins and is illustrated by Archana Sreenivasan. I simply love the illustrations in this book and I hope you will like them too. Okay, so once upon a time there was a girl named Rapunzel. Rapunzel had long, beautiful hair and a lovely voice. She lived by herself in a tall tower over a hilltop. Okay, so that's Rapunzel, and those are her beautiful long hair, and she lived in this tall tower all by herself. Now you may wonder, why did she live all by herself? So let's see, why did this happen? When Rapunzel was a little baby, a witch had taken her away from home through the forest and into this tall tower. Okay, so when Rapunzel was a little baby, this bad witch, okay, she took Rapunzel into this tower. Okay, the tower was in a big forest, a deep, dense, dark forest. Rapunzel was never allowed to leave. When the witch needed to visit, what did she say? She would call out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel would throw down her long braid and the witch would climb up to the tower window. Ouch! I'm sure it must have hurt Rapunzel. You want to see the picture? So that's the tall tower and that's Rapunzel throwing her long hair down, and the witch would climb up the tower using her long hair. Okay? Then let's see what happened. Rapunzel was lonely in the tower by herself. Sometimes a mouse or a bird would visit her, but she longed for a real friend. And I'm sure Rapunzel was very kind to the bird, and she was very kind to the mouse too. Can you see the little bird there? Rapunzel was talking to this bird. Okay? She used to also sing to herself when she was bored and when she felt really sad and lonely. One day a prince was riding through the woods when he heard a melody coming from the tower window. He thought there must be a girl up there as lovely as that song. Rapunzel had a really sweet voice, so when she sang, her song was heard by the prince, okay, and he thought that there must be some really lovely, beautiful girl who would be singing that song. Suddenly, the witch appeared. The prince hid in the bushes. He watched her from behind the bushes, okay. He watched her call for Rapunzel and then climb up her hair, okay. So the witch called out to Rapunzel, and when Rapunzel let down her braid, she climbed. So the prince was watching all this from behind the bushes. The prince waited for the witch to leave, and then he called out too, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel let down her hair, but when she saw the prince in the window, she gasped. "Who are you?" she asked. Obviously, she was really surprised. Who is this man and how did he come up? And, why has he come up? She was wondering all these questions in her mind. The prince bowed and introduced himself. Then he and Rapunzel began to talk. They talked for hours together. Rapunzel told the prince about her life in the tower. And the prince listened. He was falling in love with this pretty girl. Okay? So that's Rapunzel and the prince talking for hours together. They went on talking because they were so happy to meet each other. It was almost night. Can you see in the picture? Okay, he came in the day, but it became night now, and they were still talking. Even the little mouse is asleep. I just noticed that. Can you spot the little mouse sleeping? The prince began to visit Rapunzel every day, and I'm sure she would have waited for him to come. She loved when he told her stories about the outside world because Rapunzel had never seen it. He talked about his horses and the beautiful streams he liked to walk along and the little village nearby. Rapunzel wished she could see what was beyond her tower. Okay? That's the beautiful village the prince mentioned, and those are the villagers, and these are the horses the prince had. So that's Rapunzel and the prince in the tower, okay? But the prince was describing all these places so beautifully that Rapunzel could imagine, wow, what a beautiful place that must be. I wish I could go and visit these places, okay? Just like how we also like to go to villages, see the mountains, see the lovely streams gurgling and splash in the cool waters and climb up tall mountains, sit under the shade of beautiful, lovely, lush green trees. Okay, just like that, Rapunzel also wished she could also experience all these things. "Come with me to my kingdom," said the prince one day. "The witch will never let me leave," sighed Rapunzel. The prince took her by her hand and promised to help her escape. Okay, the prince was really brave and he said, "I will help you escape this tower, okay, and we will go and live in my castle." Later that day, the witch saw the prince climbing down Rapunzel's hair. "We will leave tomorrow," he called up to his love. Okay, as the prince was climbing down, the witch saw him. And the prince said, "We will leave tomorrow." And this was heard by the evil witch. Let's see what happened then. The witch was furious. As punishment, she cut Rapunzel's long, beautiful hair. Then, with a wave of her wand, she cast Rapunzel from the tower deep into the forest. Okay, so she was furious when she came to know of this prince and that he was trying to help Rapunzel to escape this tower. So she cut her long braid and she banished her. Okay? Deep into the forest Rapunzel went. Oh my God, poor Rapunzel. The next day the prince returned. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," he called. He was really happy and chirpy. Why was that? Because he had decided that today I'm going to take Rapunzel along with me into my kingdom. Okay, so what happened then? Rapunzel's beautiful hair came down. But when the prince climbed to the window, the witch was waiting for him. The witch put a curse on the prince that made him unable to see. Blindly, the prince escaped from the tower. He called Rapunzel's name, but she was too far away to hear him. He wandered the forest searching for his lost love. Oh my God, poor prince. He was blind now and he couldn't look for Rapunzel because he did not know where he was going. He just wandered here and there deep into the forest to find Rapunzel. Many days passed. The prince had almost given up hope. Okay? Then, one day, he heard a lovely melody. It was Rapunzel. He was sure of it. He couldn't see her, but he knew, okay, that it's the same voice, the same song that I had heard so many days ago. I'm sure this is my Rapunzel's voice. So he called out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, is that you?" Okay? Reunited, Rapunzel and the prince embraced. When Rapunzel learned that the witch's curse had made the prince blind, she wept and wept. Okay? That's Rapunzel crying because she got to know that the prince was blind now because of the witch's curse. So she was so sad. She was so sad that she started crying. But as Rapunzel's tears fell onto the prince's face, something magical happened. Her tears broke the witch's curse. The prince could see again. Oh my God, that's such a wonderful thing to happen. Now because of her tears, a magic happened and the prince could see again. He got back his eyesight. Rapunzel and the prince returned to his kingdom. There, far from the witch's tower, they lived happily ever after. Here they're playing a game over here, sitting in his lawn, okay, in his garden. They're playing a game which looks something like chess, right? And there are beautiful trees and birds all around, and that's the beautiful castle where Rapunzel and the prince lived happily ever after. I hope you like the story.